finish. Whittaker will put the Pirates in front with the best goal we've seen so far. Here come the Saints, fired across the front. Goal by Murphy. Give her half an inch and she will punish you. Baxter, one of the greatest finishes we've seen on any of our broadcasts.
Welcome everyone to the statewide Super League clash brought to you by Spacequake Sports. Tonight's match is going to be a belter. We have the Western Pirates up against the Eastern Saints. It's the final round before the finals next week. I'm Tim White, and it's my pleasure to introduce my co-commentator for the night, Matt Morton. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Whitey. Pleasure to be here.
So, Matt, can you just set up for the listeners the importance of tonight's match?
Yeah, so the Western Pirates need to take a point away from this game to make it to the grand final next week.
Okay, so you're saying, just so it's really clear, that the Saints have qualified?
Saints have qualified.
And the Storm are sitting at home watching?
Yep, whether they're hoping to win or not.
So the Storm are sitting at home watching, and the Storm need the Saints to win tonight to allow the Storm to play next week.
Correct.
And who do you play for, Matt, just so everyone's aware?
For the Southern Storm.
For the Storm, so you may also have a vested interest in the match.
I may.
And tell us on both teams, start with the Eastern Saints. Who are you looking forward to watching tonight? Who are the prominent players out there?
I mean, if you look at number 9 from the Western Pirates, Scotty Germain, wearing the captain's band. You got Cameron White, number 7 from the Western Pirates, and you'll have 2 strong defenders as Daniel Penner, number 12, and Ryan O'Shea, number 13, around the back, who will be looking for long aerials and 45s across the field.
Good, and I would add to the Western Pirates the importance of Eddie Chitterborough in the net tonight. He had a really strong game in the net last week for the Pirates. Remind us of the Storm last week between the Pirates and the was it 3-2 to the Storm?
You've stumped me here.
Well, you were playing, weren't you, Matt?
I was playing.
I think Dan Mitchell scored the winner to make it 3-2 late in the game.
He did. He did. We'll have to ask him about that.
But Eddie Chitterborough played a belter of a game that night, and he's going to be really prominent tonight. And on the Eastern Saints team, who do you see as the key playmakers?
So you'll see Simon Brown, number 16, through the middle of the park. Brodie Gleeson and Fraser Bowden up front, throwing a bit of speed. And you'll have Damon Lang in the goals. And my tip to score a couple of goals from the Saints would be number 15, Angus Fry.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned Angus Fry, a really prominent young player, played an excellent under-21 Nationals, where the SA boys finished 4th recently in Lismore, and you'd expect to see some good form from him tonight. I think James Keeves will be an important player too, and might find himself having a role in corners tonight, Matt.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's going to be careful, or it's going to be trouble for the Saints if they can't control the long overheads of Ryan O'Shea and Daniel Penner in this first quarter.
Yeah, and what sort of game style are you expecting?
I'm expecting a zonal press from the Western Pirates with Michael Wells coaching at the helm with Jordan Glover, and I'm expecting an attacking man-to-man press from the Saints.
Yeah, we'll wait and see that one play out. So one key out. Are there any? Well, I can think of one key out for the Pirates, unless I haven't seen him tonight. Is Cameron Joyce not playing?
I haven't seen him underneath. I'm assuming he's still out with an injury.
Certainly hard to miss, being a 6'6" gentleman. We did see him Monday night at the Adelaide Fire men's training session. He's part of the inaugural Adelaide Fire men's squad, although he is rehabbing from a hamstring injury, and I think he pointed out that he hadn't played for 5 weeks. So he looked to be doing some reasonably high intensity training. We might find him suiting up for Port pretty soon, but he's not out here tonight, and that's a big loss. I'm not sure if the Saints are missing any players, although they are missing one player, and that's silly for me to mention because I just had a conversation with Fred Gray, who's got a finger issue, and he is a key out for the Saints.
They've slipped Rafe Thompson into that central midfield role where Fred Gray would generally sit.
Yep, so the game is underway, and just to remind the viewers and everyone tuning into this broadcast, the Saints have qualified through their performances in the Super League for the final, which is going to be held next Wednesday night here at the State Hockey Centre. The Pirates need to take away a point from this contest to qualify. If they lose tonight, then the Southern Storm will play the final against the Eastern Saints next week. So we are really well set for a great contest, and it started with the Saints controlling the ball around the back, and the Storm just, the Pirates are sitting back a bit, although Luke Lowe was just pushed out and Cleghorn has taken that opportunity to get forward as he likes to do.
And look for Cleghorn doing those long runs from centre back sweeper, searching for midfield balls.
I mean, already some beautiful little interplay and fluid movement by the Saints, but the Pirates have won the ball, unfortunately given it straight back to the Saints, and they'll start again. Now, who was number 3 for the Pirates? Point him out for me on the right striker.
So that would be Lee Tape from the Pirates.
Lee Tape. So it's the sort of press that you were expecting from the Pirates?
Yeah, just to ease their way into the game. You'll see them go from a fall away into a mobile and really try to identify and close down one of the defenders when they see the opportunity.
And you saw the press being successful there. Often, I think we said in the women's game that the front line of the press might not win it, but it's the shape that they set up to help the next line make the interceptors. So we see Angus Fry have an incisive move early and then get forward for the second phase involvement. Knocks it back to, I think, Robbie Kane, who knocks the ball in the circle. Great opportunity, and Gleeson just couldn't control it.
Angus Fry getting a couple of early touches.
Yes, standing out there in his white shoes. Not the only one. It seems to be a little, well, I think there's 3 of them there now. We've got Brodie, Fraser and Angus all with prominent white shoes. Must be an Adelaide thing, Matt.
Must be a Adelaide Hockey Club style, I think.
It could be. Oh, well cut out by Brodie Gleeson. Chance here. It's a 3-on-3 up front. He looks for the free player in Fry. We said he was going to be dangerous tonight, but just took too long to get the shot away, and I think Dan Penner might have closed it down.
That's a great intercept by Brodie Gleeson, and as we said at the start of the game, Angus Fry, exactly where you want to be, inside the circle.
Yeah, I think Angus will be a little bit disappointed in that. You know, he...
Oh, hello. Broken stick.
Well, that is something you don't see very often. Dan Penner, stick has broken in half. He's wandering off. Andy Leitz picked it up. There's amazing scenes here at Hockey SA.
I think that was from Angus's Fry mishit inside the circle.
So you think that Penner may have had his stick knocked by Fry in the contest, which has weakened it and then caused it to break in half in the next bit of play.
I think Penner may be sending Fry a bill.
Well, that is something that I haven't seen for quite some time. Hope he bought a spare, Matt.
I'm sure he would have.
So the changes are being rung. The rotations will play a major part in tonight's game, and both squads are rotating heavily early in the game. Jermaine on the ball, or he just goes forward, and Andy Leite, who finds himself at the back. But I think who have we got there on the ball? That Ryan O'Shea on the ball, who's a part of the Adelaide Fire squad. Lawrence on the ball now. Looks to go direct. Dangerous ball. I think Fraser Bowden got an important stick in there. Cameron White looking dangerous, but it'll be a restart on the 25 for the Western Pirates.
Lawrence on the ball here.
Not a lot of options on, although Cameron White just finds a bit of space, who's dangerous in this area. Out wide to Jermaine, who's taken up a wider spot, but then well cut out by, it might have been Jimmy Humphries, not sure. I think it was.
Jimmy Humphries in the corner there, working a free nicely. Cameron White's one player that you definitely want to stay in the contest with. He's got some of the best hands in the competition.
He has, and And that's a dangerous ball for Fry, who gets the ball to Jimmy Mitten, is it? Who looked to probably try and lay it off to Fry again, I think, did he, Morts?
I think you need to be a little bit more hungry in the circle there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we do like to see good connections and interplay between players in that part of the field, but there is a time to pull the trigger.
Andy lead on the ball.
Yes, he's recovered from a nasty clash in the Port Seacliff game on the weekend. Good to see him back out there tonight. So it's a chance to look at the Saints. The Saints without the ball game for one of the early occasions. A really dangerous ball by O'Shea. Knocked forward. Was that Paxton Silby knocking the ball into the circle?
Paxton Silby.
But well cut out. And the Saints now, it's the Saints' turn to go forward. So both teams, it's shaping up as a really even contest. You know, chances at either end, opportunities at either end. Maybe the Saints with a little bit more of the ball early.
Yeah, it's looking like both teams are at this stage just seeking out how the game's going to be played and just falling away just a little bit and really just capturing that opportunity to go into a mobile press, which is, you know, falling away and then going aggressive.
Yeah, it's not unusual to see teams in the first part of the first quarter just trying to understand how the game's going to play out, and they're not going to play their hand in the first few minutes. But yeah, as I said, it's shaping to be a good contest. Balls into both circles, high tempo, good skills. We've seen some good aerials, yeah, this is game on, because as we said, the Western Pirates need to get something out of tonight's game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they are the defending champions of the Super League, having won last year.
They are.
So we've seen in the women's comp that the defending champions in the women were knocked out tonight. And so the Western Pirates men will be looking to avoid the fate of the women. As Dan Pennock comes back on with a new stick.
Yeah, a bright orange stick. Bit of a stick change.
Which was necessary with what happened to his last stick.
It was.
Nice receive by, who was that in the middle of the field? Is that Fitzgerald?
Fitzgerald, yes.
Yeah, nice receive under pressure. Won the ball, so a restart for the Western Pirates in the front third.
Haynes over the ball, comes wide to Penner. Nice low left hand by Gleeson.
Yeah, he won the ball well there, Brody Gleeson. Probably could have looked to control the ball into Dawson rather than knock it forward. And it's given possession back to the Pirates, who have probably controlled the ball in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Again, a lot of space being opened up into the midfield. The Pirates just need to see if they can search and roll a posting player just through that gap.
I think that was well read by Keys. In the end, it was picked up by Kane. But the Eastern Saints team are going to be very aware of the aerial threat of Daniel Penner, which he used to good effect there. Throws the ball into Cameron White. We've talked about his skills. You don't want him to get a lot of the ball and be confident running it forward. He has got some of the best skills in the competition, including probably the best 3D skills in the competition. So Andy Leake getting forward, who is dangerous, loves to run, loves to attack, but then knocks it harmlessly over the baseline with Daniel Penner drifting forward.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Saints do a bit of a tagging role. Not that there is a tagging role in hockey, but they'll be keeping close eye on Cameron White through the midfield.
So Robbie Kane on the ball. No, Crawford, I think. Simon Crawford on the ball. Out to Humphreys, back out to Crawford. The Pirates just allowing the Saints, happy for them to be throwing it around the back. Now they're looking to get more mobile and aggressive. So the Pirates looking well organised.
Both teams are pressing well, they're organising well and really trying to seize the opportunity when a missed trap or a missed pass has been created.
Just free just outside. Luke Larwood trying to talk his way into a corner, but the umpire will have none of that. Higgins throws it back out to Cameron White. And I think Tom Cleghorn just mopped that up. And now there's a chance for the Saints to break. But Andy Leet used his pace, intercepted, and now sets a chance up for the Pirates to go forward. So Haynes on the ball, back to Larwood, back out to Fitzgerald, back to Larwood again. So we've seen a lot of good hockey. What we haven't seen yet is the goalkeepers being called on. So just probably a lack of quality in the front circle. Here's Larwood just as we speak. Ball crossed the face, but then well read by the Saints defence. May have been Robbie Kane back there.
Crash ball in. Lang with the save. Brody trying to use his muscle.
Oh, beautiful upright backhand attempt by Gleeson. Did use his physicality and his speed there, but it was well cut out by Lawrence. And so just when we said the goalies hadn't been called on, it wasn't a save, but it was an important clearance by Damon Ling in the net for the Eastern Saints. Great pickup by Luke Larwood. Tried to throw it back, but it's now well won by, is that Robbie Kane? I can't tell the difference between Kane and Crawford.
That'd be Crawford on the far side.
That is Crawford on the far side. Nice aerial by Lawrence into space. Andy Leet starting to get a lot of the ball. Not sure what Angus Fry's doing back there as a right half, but he won't be there for long.
The game started to open up a little bit now, going end to end for the last minute and a half.
Yeah, some prominent involvements by some key players. Angus will be disappointed with that. Probably a little bit too predictable with what he's looking to do. There we see the 3D skills of Cameron White and finds Fitzgerald on the outside. Saints defence looks fairly well set. Having said that, they've got an opportunity, the Pirates, but well cut out by the Saints defence. I think Cleghorn might have got an important touch there.
I think both teams would be pretty glad that that ball went over the baseline. It's pretty up and back for the last couple of minutes.
We just saw on replay the opportunity there and got past Damon Lang, but there wasn't anyone on the back post to put it away. So good ball out there. Found Dawson, but Ryan O'Shea wins it. Looks to penetrate early, but nothing on. Had to hold it. Humphrey steps up, makes the intercept, and then pulls it out to Dawson, and the Saints will reset. Although straight away won back by the Pirates. I think you mentioned before, Morts, the game has been almost a turnover contest for the last 5 minutes.
Penner just looking to control the game a little bit more. This is better by the Pirates, just trying to compose themselves, build up the play. Scotty Germain over the ball.
Yeah, we've talked about Cameron White's good hands, and I think Scotty Germain would go into that same category, as we saw that there with that nice backhand feed. Backhand ball lashed into the circle by Penner, but dangerous, and a restart for the Eastern Saints and a chance for both teams to catch their breath. Beautiful ball by Cleghorn. Aerial ball's going to be used prominently tonight. Well received by Fry, and then Dawson getting involved. But Andy Leet, who's had a good start to this game, has come up with an important intercept there. So really nice hockey there. The Pirates were able to play themselves out of a difficult situation with Leet and O'Shea and Germain combining, and now they've got the ball in a part of the field they're going to be more comfortable with.
There's that 45 overhead down to Penner in the attacking 25. Well intercepted by, that's Crawford over in the corner.
That is probably, Dan Penner in hindsight. Obviously, we try and get that baseline depth and look for that T-point sort of entry into the circle. But if the defender is dragged out there, you've often got another passing channel to fire into, and he probably chose the wrong option there.
So Andy Leet cleaning up the scraps. He's definitely one, if you're at home and you're idolising playing the free defender or sweeper, as some call it, Andy Leet is definitely one to look at. He intercepts the ball and reads the play really, really well.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think your last comment's the most, as we see an opportunity there, but well read. But Jermaine's dangerous. Look to get it on the foot, and I think he has found a foot, and it's the opening corner of the night for the Western Pirates. And so Who do you see as the main threats on the corners for the Pirates tonight, Morts?
With Joycey out of the game, I'd see either a Daniel Penner direct flick or a Ryan O'Shea. I'd be leaning towards a Daniel Penner direct here.
Yeah, he was, I'm pretty sure, thinking back, that he was part of an important part of the battery last week and scored one. I think the second one was a breakdown on a corner as well, which he was involved in. So he's on battery 1 along with Ryan O'Shea. Is that also on just to the left of Penner?
Yep, Lee Tape lining off on battery 2. So my bet is direct flick or a slip left.
And well called by Morton, well saved by Damon Lang. So they did go the slip left first, just to probably try and change the running line and find an angle to goal. And well covered by Lang in goal. Probably just saved it onto the foot of his teammate. So a second opportunity for the Western Pirates to open the scoring. Oh, that is a great opportunity, and it is lashed in, I think, is it Ryan O'Shea?
That's Ryan O'Shea on the rebound.
On the buzzer. So a fantastic end of the quarter for the Pirates, who take a 1-goal lead. We'll talk about that after the break. Welcome back to the second quarter. It's about to get underway of the statewide Super League. We've just seen Mort's the first goal of the match.
That's it. We called it first. We had a Ryan O'Shea slip left, and then we had a retake. So Daniel Penner lined up for the hit. James Humphreys got a touch on it off the post. Rebound to Ryan O'Shea, and Ryan O'Shea made the most of it into the roof.
So, I mean, what I'm impressed about is that the Western Pirates have had 2 corners, and on each of them they've tried something different. So no direct flicks yet. We've had O'Shea having the first one. That one was a hit by Penner, which I think probably was trying to catch Lang off guard, thinking that he was probably going to flick. And in the end, it almost paid dividends. Great save by Humphreys on the line, onto the post, but then the goal was put away. So it sets the game up really well. It's a 1-goal lead to the Pirates. Reminder to everyone that if the Pirates take a point from tonight's game, that these 2 teams will be playing again next week on Wednesday night in the final. So Morts, tell me about what you think the mindset of the Eastern Saints will be tonight, given that they're already qualified?
It's tough to say. I mean, you're looking at these 2 clubs or 2 teams, I should say, that make up, or the clubs that make up these 2 teams, and they're very competitive. You know, it's a make-up of Port for the Western Pirates with Grange combining, and then you've got the likes of the Eastern Saints, who are predominantly Adelaide. So that rivalry between Adelaide and Port, no one's going to go easy.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we talked in the women's game how when you bring the best players together, so we just pause for a moment and see Cameron White with an opportunity, and now it's a dangerous free hit. But you bring the best players from the competition into combined teams, and they will be playing to win. And I don't think the Saints would be happy just to sit back and allow the result to play out. They'd be looking forward to knocking the Western Pirates out of the competition tonight. But they've got some work to do, because the Pirates have got another chance here with Lawrence into the circle. but it's just overplayed and harmlessly out over the baseline. So, yeah, the Saints, the Storm, sitting at home watching. They need the opposite result with a 1-0 lead currently to the Pirates, but plenty of time and plenty of opportunities for this game to change. So Keeves on the ball, knocks it out to Kane at left half, throws it into the midfield to Thompson, not controlled, looked for the direct ball there, but harmlessly again over the baseline, and the Saints will restart.
So one player, I'm not sure about you, Whitey, but one player I haven't seen just yet is Chris Wells for the Eastern Saints.
No, and I actually did see Chris, but I didn't see him in his playing kit. Although he did come out to the Adelaide Fire with a bandage on his head the other night. I think he was a head clash in a club game on the weekend.
Yep.
So you would imagine that that's why he's unavailable tonight. A key figure too. He's a very good player, Chris.
It would have been nice to see Wells v Wells. His younger brother, Michael Wells, is co-coaching the Western Pirates.
Yes, along with Jordan Glover, who's just been appointed as the Adelaide Fire assistant coach, with Mark Victory being Chaney, as we like to call him, the head coach. Now remind me, is Chaney down there coaching this Eastern Saints team?
Yeah, Chaney will be on the Eastern Saints. I saw him rolling around. A bit of banter between him and Jordan Glover.
Very good.
It's a good ball.
That is a good ball, and is that Rowan Hope who got a stick on it? Good ball. I think it might have been Jermaine who played that into the circle. Rowan Hope getting in front at the right time, but the ball going past the goal. So I think right now, not just only on the scoreline, I think the Western Pirates would be the happier of the two teams. And just on cue, we see a great press win by Fitzgerald and an opportunity to go into attack again. Cleghorn using his body to keep him out. Not all that agreeable of the decision, but he'll have to get on with it.
That's well read by Tom Fitzgerald. I think you'd find that the Western Pirates are now turned themselves into a bit of a zonal type press and trying to manipulate and create some fake space into the midfield to create turnovers.
Little set play, Fitzgerald going off the ball, redirect, well played. Thompson winning the ball, and the Saints trying to bring it out of a difficult position. Keeves using a nice bit of 3D air drag, and they have played themselves out of difficulty. I think that's Jesse Cooper on the ball, is it?
Yep.
Who we haven't called a lot from the Burnside Hockey Club. Back to Keeves, back to Cleghorn, well controlled, and Keeves now an opportunity to maybe look longer, which he did, but mishandled. Fitzgerald, who's played well, particularly in the last few minutes. Great ball to Jermaine in space. He'll probably shift it to Lawrence. I think it's Lawrence. No, it's Haynes, is it?
Haynes with the bright shoes.
It is Haynes with the bright shoes. I think he might have borrowed your shoes, Morts.
No, I think he's got the wrong size, but I do have those shoes.
Right. So Rowan Hope sneaking in on the outside, but just knocked past. But again, Fitzgerald, what's his third press win in the last 2 minutes?
I'd be checking his stick at halftime for a magnet.
Great bit of play by Paxton Silby. Unfortunately, couldn't finish it off with the pass. Keeves has had a lot of work to do, as have all the Eastern Saints. That little redirect's a dangerous ball. It does get you out of trouble if it comes off. And the ball fed out to Angus Fry, who hasn't seen a lot of it in the last few minutes. Beautiful bit of control there by Fry, but he's fed it back to Larwood, who has given it into the shin, I think, of Crawford, and it's a chance for the Western Pirates, who have had more of the play, Morts, I think, fair to say, in this quarter.
The intensity just coming out of the quarter time break has just dropped off a little. I'd be really looking for a team to come out for the next 2 or 3 minutes and really see if they can put some scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, right now the game is being played in the hands of into the hands of the Western Pirates. They're making the field big. They're shifting it around. They're avoiding contests. The Saints, when they've had a few opportunities, have probably had a few softer turnovers that they wouldn't like, and as a result, there have been far more attacking 25 entries for the Pirates and the Saints in the the first half of this second quarter.
So not sure if you can see it on the screen, but as the Western Pirates are outletting, they're outletting with a back three and really trying to extend their AMs nice and wide to create a back five, which is really, like you said, Whitey, just trying to create the field as big as possible.
So soaking up more pressure, the Saints, but that's been almost, that little bit of play sort of sums up what's happening there. They're soaking up pressure, they're winning the ball, but then they're turning it over and they're giving the ball back to the Pirates. And we'll see what they come up with here, whether they look to penetrate or maybe shift it to the open side. No, they're going to try and go in early and look for the redirect. And the ball, I think, from Paxton Sylvie was into the foot of Crawford, so they'll get a chance this outside the circle.
The Western Pirates are just going to need to be careful here, just with how much possession they are having over the ball. That the Eastern Saints and the Adelaide, just like this, they're really, really good on the counter attack, and they'll make you pay.
Yeah, on cue. Unfortunately, you don't want to throw the ball into space and make it a speed battle when the opponent is Andy Leet, because he's going to win most times.
That is correct. Speedy headband man.
Who's been good tonight. As you would expect, another member of the Adelaide Fire men's squad, the inaugural squad. So Saints have got some work to do. They would have probably come in here fairly confident after some good Super League performances. But at this stage, the game is not playing out how they would have liked. But a long way to go. And Humphrey's in a dangerous position here. But that man in the red headband, Andy Leet, wins the ball, gets it back again. Time and space, just floats into it, just glides when he moves. Not sure if he met that pass to Cuffy, but he'll take it. Cameron White just carrying the ball at pace into the circle, although he's turned the ball over and Keeves has mopped up and Humphreys has got it back at left half rather than in the circle where he was a minute ago.
Well controlled here by the Saints, playing small games.
Dangerous ball. A chance for Fitzgerald to win another ball, but Robbie Kane, is it? I think just got an important touch, and the Saints will restart. So what are you seeing from the Saints outletting?
The Saints at this stage are playing a back four with two DMs. But they're playing right into the Pirates' hands with their zonal press. They really need to draw the Pirates in, draw them out, and play around the zone.
Well, I think that is a really spot-on comment. There's been some real dangerous turnovers that the Pirates have won in their midfield, which is exactly what they're looking for. So to be able to bounce the ball in and out and then try and shift the zone a bit, I think is important. And we may see more of that in the second half if it's addressed at half-time. But again, it's the Pirates' turn to control the ball. Fraser Bowden almost won that contest. Someone we haven't called a lot yet, so he can be dangerous, and we'd be looking for the Saints will be looking for him to get more involved.
There's Cleghorn on the side. Very good ball handler.
Here's a dangerous opportunity. Bowden, just when we asked him to be more prominent, over to Mitten. And the ball just over the top. Eddie Chittleborough probably with an unnecessary dive, but he hasn't had much involvement, Ed, so he wanted to have some action.
Really good opportunity on the counter attack by the Saints. That's really where they'll look to be dangerous and catch the Pirates off guard.
Oh, good aggressive receive and understanding of space there by Leet. You can see how much the game opens up when that happens, although Fry won it well, and now it's a chance for the Saints to go the other way. Great off-ball work by Fry, looking to get out wide in some space. Got the ball now, so set it up, still has it. Great opportunity for the Saints. And the first, it could have been the first corner of the night. The umpire blew advantage. Jimmy Mitten had a fresh air swing, had another go, but it gave Chittleborough enough time to close it down.
Well umpired. If Jimmy had his time again, he might have put his hand up and asked for the corner after that shot.
Yeah, it's good to see Mortiu, I guess, praising the umpires.
No, always praise the umpires, Whitey. They do a great job out here.
Good, good. You might end up with a few votes in the medal count this year, Morts, with that attitude. So great piece of play by the Saints. Started with, I mean, you know, we praised Andy Leet for his attacking receive. He looked to penetrate the attacking 25. Angus Fry won it on his defensive 25, and then the ball went up the other end in a flash for an opportunity. So it's what you expect from these two teams.
The Saints getting on top now, just controlling the game, creating the turnovers. To see Gus getting ahead of the ball, just too far from Gleeson.
Yeah,
This might be Eddie's first touch of the game here.
Well, no, he just had a touch when he closed down Mitten's second shot, unless I'm mistaken.
So big back four shape here by the Pirates, really trying to extend the field out. That's well read by James Humphreys.
Yeah, if the ball is passed over that sort of distance, you would want your defender to be up in front looking to intercept. You know, in an ideal world, the defender makes an intercept there rather than just knocks it over the sideline. But he read it well, and the Saints reset. Great pick up by Angus Fry. Cameron White, he's quick. He's tracked Fry back. Fry retains possession, but Cameron White wins that battle, and off goes Andy Leet. So not long to go in this second half. Important couple of minutes because the Pirates would be very happy to get into half-time one up, and probably deservingly so. And the Saints have just started to try and wrestle back momentum.
Can hear calls from the bench from Mikey Wells. Easy, trying to settle his team down. They're 1-0 up, like you said, Whitey. They don't want to concede a late goal here going into 1-1 at the change.
And Dawson had far too much in the room in the middle of the field there, although they've probably missed an opportunity having to go back, and now the Pirates have got 11 men behind the ball, so it's not going to be easy for the Saints to penetrate. So the Saints just almost like basketball style, sort of milking the clock, looking for an opportunity. Daniel Penner using all of his experience there, faking the intercept, stepping over it. Ball goes over the baseline, and the Pirates will be looking just to ice the half now.
So the Pirates should be happy to hold the ball here if the Saints are falling away. There's no need to go forward.
No, the Saints just looking to keep the ball off them. The Pirates. Done well there, the Pirates. So they win the ball now, but it's going to be tough from that part of the field with 10 seconds to go. As the ball harmlessly goes over the sideline, players have had enough, so they'll go into their respective dugouts, get some instructions from their coaches. It's been a fantastic first half. Lots of action will come in the second half and join us after this short break. Welcome back to the Western Pirates versus Eastern Saints clash in the statewide Super League. Current scores at halftime stand at 1-0 to the Pirates. Matthew Morton, what did you think of that first half?
It was well controlled by the Pirates. I thought they had the better of the half. There was a couple of times throughout both quarters that it was a bit like tennis, up and back. But I'm really looking forward to seeing who comes out firing for this first 5 minutes.
And the Pirates will contest the final next week if they draw. They're currently 1-0 up. Do you expect them to do anything different?
I think they've been in control for the majority of the game. I think they're going to have to be careful not getting caught asleep. And the Saints counter-attacking and going forward at speed.
And we saw examples of that in that second half. The Pirates were on top, but the Saints still looked dangerous going forward. Had one really good opportunity where Mitten had a double chance when good advantage was played, and Chittleborough closed it down. You know, both keepers, Chittleborough and Lang, haven't been used a lot. So despite a lot of high tempo, excellent, skilled hockey, we haven't seen it result in opportunities or enough opportunities at either end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Saints have had a corner as yet.
No, the only corner and the retake of the corner has been by the Pirates, which is where the first goal has come from.
So the second half's underway, and man who had a big say in the first half, Andy Leet, is taken off where he left off in that first half, looking really prominent. Great opportunity right from the word go for the Pirates, but it was well defended by the Saints. And Angus Fry now has it and is looking to set something up for them. Just dumps the ball back to James Keeves. Looks inwards, looks long, nothing on, so he's probably just going to try and set something up. Although great ball in the end to Dawson. Gleason's made some space forward, but well cut out by Lawrence, who read that, and over to Fitzgerald, back to Lawrence. And Fitzgerald, who had a really good first half. Morts is prominently involved already.
I think there might have been a chance the TOs are checking Tom Fitzgerald's stick for a magnet. There was a time where he could not get the ball.
And Paxton Sylvie breaks forward. Great opportunity, but Damon Lang timed his save to perfection there.
That's a great save by Damo. That's perfectly... That's exactly what you want a goalie to do in that situation, is really try to close down that striker's space and make himself look as big as possible.
And he did exactly that. Well played by Paxton Sylvie, as we see the ball almost won by the Pirates in the press. But Paxton Sylvie attacked that space, had his eyes up, but just wasn't able to control the ball over. And now Jimmy Mitten has a chance going down the other end, but Andy Leet just plucks that away from him. So the game has started at a frantic pace. And then a chance there. We almost slipped through to Fraser Bowden. We mentioned that if the Saints are going to get back into this contest, I think Fraser Bowden needs to get more of the ball.
Speedy white shoes of Fraser's. Wouldn't be surprised if he creates a couple of turnovers and really attacks at speed.
Ryan O'Shea with the restart played a good role in that first half, but that is an ambitious attempt to get it forward. Easily cut out by, I think it was James Keeves, who now is back on the ball, and the Saints will have a chance to build from the back with Jimmy Humphries slipping the ball to Simon Crawford, out to Rafe Thompson, who goes forward, still with the ball. Dangerous ball across, but well deflected out. Really good defensive play there by Adam Lawrence. Not looking to trap the ball there. If you trap the ball there and mishandle it, the other team can get a chance. So he just deflected it over the sideline. But the Saints, with the early ascendancy in terms of possession, although the best opportunity of the half already has gone to the Pirates on the stick of Paxton Sylvie. Larwood calling it for it long, but in the end that opened up the space for Cam Higgins. So well played there. So you saw Larwood go long, wanted O'Shea to throw it long. His defender tracked with him and Higgins was able to find it in the midfield. Cameron White doing a little sort of goose step over the ball. Looks to get in the circle. But well umpired. There was nothing in that. And the Saints handled that pretty well. There he is, the man we've asked to get the ball more, and lovely receive. Nice slip to the open side. And now Fry in space. And a chance to get his eyes up. Slips it. Great opportunity. Well read by Chitterborough. Came off his line. And still a chance for the Saints, although it's over the baseline now. Probably the Saints' best opportunity, Morts.
That was a great initiated play by Fraser, getting the ball out of defence, and Angus Fry just holding his space out wide and really trying to create that space for him to receive at speed.
Yep, so the Saints showing how dangerous they are. The ball went from one end of the field quickly, and it was mainly from the ability for them to spread it to the open side and then attack the space once they got it there. Again, Fraser Bowden on cue, becoming far more prominent, and things are happening when he's got the ball. Beautiful ball. Still a chance. Ball now on the stick of Dawson, who does his trademark spin. Well defended by the Pirates. They were quite patient in the way in which they defended. Sean Dawson didn't jump in. And now they're going to have to defend a free hit just outside the circle. Out to Fry. Little feed. Bowden. But well read by Jermaine. And now he gets forward quickly with good hands. Could have played advantage to Larwood. I think the umpire might have raised his hand and apologised for not letting that go.
Fraser's had a couple of really good important touches here in the first 6 minutes of the quarter. He must have heard you, Whitey.
He must have. And if I was on the Pirates team, I'd be certainly looking to stem his involvements, because he has been prominent. As has this man when he's got the ball. Andy Leet out to O'Shea. Got a really good outletting game, O'Shea. Strong feed, strong aerial hit, backhand. So he's dangerous with the ball. Often looks to be quite direct with what he does as well.
And what comes along with that as well is really dangerous vision, and his ability to scan up the field and look at those open channels. It's really important for a defender to not only have a disposal skill set, but have that vision coming along with it as well.
Yep. So the changes coming thick and fast on the sideline, which you'd expect because the game is being played at a really high tempo. Reminder to everyone out there that the scoreline as it stands now, we'll see these two teams playing in the grand final again next Wednesday night, and the Southern Storm, who beat the Pirates last week, will be eliminated from the competition, but a lot to play out. And the Saints have certainly showed that they've got the firepower to get back into this contest. Simon Brown is that in the midfield?
Yeah, Simon Brown and Scotty Jermaine. It's been a really good battle between those two thus far.
Yeah, Simon is he's a really efficient player. He doesn't, he doesn't sort of stand out with Larry's skills, but he does everything really well.
There's Dan Haynes over the ball, just controlling it. Pirates getting a little bit of shape around the back here. Ryan O'Shea using his great vision. Well read by Angus Fryer. Unfortunately raised up and hit Paxton in the leg.
Oh, great restart. Here's a great opportunity. Leg on the ground, but saves it with his left hand. And that all came about from the quick restart and thinking by Paxton Sylvie.
It's a really great skill to use as well, to catch the defenders off guard by, putting the ball within the vicinity of the free, and really trying to self-play as quickly as you can.
Yeah, out of all the set plays you can do, it's probably the most difficult one for a defence to handle. just a quick restart. Great play by Cleghorn. Good baseline depth by Gleeson. Here's a great chance for the Saints. And there's the equaliser. Is that Simon Brown?
That's Simon Brown.
So we just talked about his efficiency with what he does. And he finished that beautifully. And so explain the move to us, Morts.
So that all came about by the Saints being composed over the ball and really trying to stretch the field out. You can see where Brodie Gleeson received the ball in that back right corner, which was really able to beat the defence of the Pirates, and a nice little slider ball across the face to Simon Brown, who pretty much slapped an open goal against Eddie. And
what will be interesting now, just reminding everyone of the scoreline being 1-1, is the change in mindset. So the Pirates effectively had a 2-goal buffer with a 1-goal lead because the draw is enough for them to qualify for the final. But now the game is on a knife edge. So, yeah, this is going to be a really interesting final stanza of this match.
I can't see this game finishing at a 1-1 scoreline. I really think something is going to give, whether it's for the Saints or Pirates, I'm not sure, but there's definitely going to be more goals in store for us.
Big call from Morts. Commentator's curse, we'll refer back to that one. Leet wins the battle in the midfield against Angus Fry. Looked to probably penetrate a bit too direct. I think both teams need to understand the importance of patience and width and spreading it, and you saw the Eastern Saints do that perfectly in the goal that they just scored, whereas in that stanza the Pirates were looking to go too direct too quickly, and it was quite easily cut out. Good attempt to redirect by Fitzgerald, but unfortunately to the near side of the goal where it needed to go to the back post. But yeah, it's certainly game on with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. We expected a tight contest, and we've got that with the scores at 1-1.
So it's definitely a skill the Pirates have been focusing on with their circle entries, is that redirect to catch the Saints defence off guard with a quick ball in and a quick one-touch.
Oh, Cameron White presenting, but just slipped over. Now it's a chance for Grady Gleeson, but it's well read by Ryan O'Shea. He's got beautiful hands. Again, look direct. Here's a chance. Hope on the ball. But I think it's Jimmy Humphries, isn't it, who was able to win a really important contest.
So if we're going on form from the last 2 quarters, the game will start to open up now, which has happened in the last first and second quarters for the last 5 minutes. So exciting times for the last 4 minutes here with some end-to-end hockey.
Nice roll and or receive and roll by Hope. Larwood attacking the circle. He's dangerous here. He's looking at the umpire. He's lying on the ground thinking that he might have got tripped, and he's looking for the PC. It was a great chance. He just nicked it past the stick of the opponent, but it just didn't fall to his teammate. But they've got to restart on the 5-yard line. They're looking for that quick 1-2 play, but not able to be achieved then. Now it's a contest in the middle, and Fitzgerald's just going to try and add a bit of calmness to the contest. Beautiful vision and skill by Cleghorn. Ryan O'Shea has been prominent tonight, Morts.
He's got a great eye, not only over the ball, but defending as well. He's got a really good 4-stick or flat stick tackle that really catches attackers off guard.
Yeah, he's made a couple of really important tackles in the last 5 minutes of this game. You see the game's gone quite physical. Anyone who says that hockey's a non-contact sport just needs to stay tuned in this contest, and you'll see a lot of contact.
The umpires are doing a good job just to let it go at the moment. Nothing too serious. What we don't want is a card-friendly game, and then the game really can get out of hand.
So Bowden shifting it to the help side to Jimmy Humphries, pulls it back inside, slides it. Great ball, but well read by Eddie Chudabra. Came off his line and smothered it from Brodie Gleeson, who was looking to get it to the spot.
So who would you say right now, Whitey, would have the momentum of the game?
I think the Saints have looked the more dangerous. I just, absolutely the Pirates have looked dangerous on the break. They've looked dangerous when they've gone direct. They've had opportunities. But the Saints probably are starting to construct a little bit better. Their shape looks a little bit better as they go forward. And although there's going to be opportunities either end, the Saints just look as though they're controlling it a bit better to me.
Yep, totally agree. For mine, I think the Pirates have gone a little bit away from how they were winning the ball in the press from the first half, which was creating some really quality attacking opportunities. And the Saints have really tried to and succeeded in playing the ball around the Pirates' press.
Great defensive work by Rafe Thompson there. Finds Jimmy Humphries, gets down low on that receive. His right hand drops right down. Nice redirect from a Keeves pass by Dawson. But that man we've talked about who's controlled the Pirates defence in Ryan O'Shea just calmly was able to mop that up. Finds Cameron White, who will be looking to get a lot of the ball in the final quarter. That is a great ball. Great vision. Paxton Silby read it. His Grange teammate just wasn't able to control it. And the players have also done what they did in another quarter and said that will do it as the clock winds down. As the final siren signals the end of the quarter. Scores are tied at 1-1. We'll have an exciting finish to this match and we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. We're about to enter the final quarter of this Super League match, this all-important Super League match between the Western Pirates and the Eastern Saints. Scores at 1-1. The Western Pirates, if the scores remain, then this will be a prelude to the final next week. The Southern Storm need the Eastern Saints to beat the Pirates tonight for them to play in the final. And Matt Morton, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm just currently reading through the comments on Facebook, and I've just noticed that it's Eddie Chittleburgh's birthday. So if anyone at home watching and wants to send Eddie Chittleburgh a happy birthday, send it through to the comments. But also send us through who you would like to win or you think would win, is going to win this match.
Yes, we always enjoy the social media interaction as we see Fraser Bowden get forward with a great pass to Jimmy Mitten, who's been dangerous in the second half. Looks for a little aerial elimination skill, but he was trying it against the aerial elimination expert of Cameron White, and he dealt with it well. So yeah, I'm really intrigued about how this quarter is going to play out. You've got the Saints already qualified. You've got the Pirates needing a draw to qualify. And so you hope it's not going to be a stalemate. However, having said that, the Eastern Saints, if they lose, still qualify. So I think if you're an Eastern Saints player, you are going to be hell-bent on trying to get victory. The Pirates, on the other hand, would be fully aware that if the scoreline stays as is, then they've done the job. So it's going to be intriguing, Morts.
Let's hope for the scoreline and entertainment's sake that it doesn't stay 1-1, but if it is a draw, maybe a 3-3, 4-4 game.
Well, a lot would have to happen in this last 13 minutes for that to play out, but let things roll. So the Saints are going to bring the ball out from their defence, and yeah, goal to the Saints would really throw things up in the air because it would force the Pirates to chase the game. At the moment, there's just been a couple of harmless long balls at either end as both teams just start to get their way back into this contest after the three-quarter time break. What do you think the Eastern Saints coach Cheney Victory might have directed his players? Would have you been positive at three-quarter time?
I think Cheney would have been really happy with that third quarter. They definitely had the momentum. They nullified Pirates' press and really tried and succeeded to eliminate those turnovers through the middle, where the likes of Tom Fitzgerald, Andy Leet, Scotty Germain were really causing some grief for him. And they had some really good opportunities. If we look at the goal that Brody Gleeson scored, beautiful play out wide around numbers, and a nice little finish by Simon Brown.
So Lawrence breaking forward. It's become a feature of high-level hockey, of the defender who's able to read the press and then break that first line to then open it up, as Cameron White, who loves breaking lines, gets forward. Beautiful bit of play by Cameron White. Oh, now that was probably the highlight of the match, Morts. In fact, I'll take probably out of it.
That was definitely the highlight of the match, and I'm not sure if that was on target or whether I was missing near side, but James Humphreys, take a bow, son.
and I think Cameron White take a bow for his role in it as well. Beautiful bit of play. So we've seen how quickly an opportunity can come about with the skill level of these two teams. Just miscontrolled there by Simon Brown. Won by Higgins in the midfield, but then given back, and the Eastern Saints will try to build from the back. Heaves has been prominent at the back.
Yelena McLaughlin wishing Eddie Chudabara a big happy birthday.
Oh, great for Yo-Yo to be involved in our comments on social media. She played a good game tonight, Yelena. Part of the Eastern Saints successful team. I think it was 4-1 tonight over the Pirates. Too good for the Pirates tonight, Morts.
They were too good. They really came out in the first half, scoring 2 goals in the first quarter, 1 in the second. Bit of an even second half, but the Saints definitely too good for the Pirates.
Great clearance by Chitterborough there after a beautiful receive and involvement by Angus Fry. And there's that dangerous ball by Penner, which we've talked about. The Eastern Saints team have dealt with it pretty well. They haven't. They've kept their shape pretty well and got under most of those high balls. Pirates working hard to get 11 behind the ball. You saw Rowan Hope getting caught out, but then got back in behind the ball, and now their shape is back where they wanted it. It'll be hard for the Eastern Saints with these numbers. Hope actually wins the ball there, but understood that there probably wasn't another numbers forward. Tried to give it back, but it was now won by the Saints, and unfortunately just out of the reach of Jimmy Humphreys from the Robbie Kane pass. As we see on the replay, that beautiful move by Cameron White. So was it Jimmy Humphreys who intercepted it, not Damon Lee?
Yeah, I think you'll find James Humphreys, whether he was turning away to get away from the ball, but he found himself saving that goal.
Oh, I'm going to give credit to Jimmy Humphreys. He's the postman for the Saints, and he got a touch on that Penner one. Here's a great opportunity for Jimmy Mitten. Looks one way, pulls it inside. Probably needed to slip it to the open player in Dawson, but they've still got an opportunity. Now Dawson gets on the end of it. Fantastically found by Rafe Thompson, and the ball goes into the back of the net past Chitterborough.
That's great composure by Angus Fry, rather than just throwing the ball back into congestion. Finds Rafe Thompson on the outside, and that's a really dangerous slider going across the face. fantastic goal.
And Rafe on the screen there enjoying his involvement. So we talked about what would the change that would come over this game if the Saints took the lead, and that's exactly what's happened, because as it stands now, the Southern Storm are going to qualify for the final if there's not a change in this scoreline. But right as we talk about that, the Pirates enter the circle. So you will find, I think, a frantic end to this contest. The Saints will just be happy to play hockey. They won't want to lose, but it's they're already qualified. And the Pirates will have to come hard. Interesting to see. I'll ask you to take note of this, Morts, if we see any change of shape or structure in what the Pirates are going to do in this last 8 minutes. And are we going to see the first card of the night?
Fraser Bowden just with a rushing tackle on Andy Leet. I mean, he's one player that sometimes you actually have to rush to tackles because he's too quick. But this really will open up the game for the Pirates. They're just important that they hold their shape, don't force the ball, and manipulate around the Saints' numbers.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week, that it should really be seen as a power play for the team with the extra number, so which is the Pirates. So they're a goal down. They've got 2 minutes to try and get an opportunity with the other team having one less player. But it's actually the Eastern Saints who have got the ball down their other end, but it's well taken away by Higgins, I think, who won the ball there. Important contest, gives it to O'Shea. He'll probably look direct, although he threw it into the midfield and just not being able to receive there. A difficult ball, but Fitzgerald would be expecting to control that.
So look for the Saints just to hold up the clock here, really try to see out the 2 minute suspension. If I was the Pirates here, I'd really try to press up on the Saints and create a front half turnover.
Yeah, and they didn't have much midfield presence there, the Saints, and James Humphrey was able to feed the ball long, and it was controlled probably too easy, I think, by Cooper in the front half. So probably a poor press by the Pirates when they had the extra number there. Leets read that well, though. So just a reminder to everyone watching, the Pirates trailing 2-1, need to score in the last 7 minutes to at least equalise to qualify for the grand final of Super League Part 2 next Wednesday night. Rafe Thompson getting some important involvements in this last quarter, including setting up the goal, although the umpire's seen, I think, a stick shield there. And I think here's a replay of the goal, is it? Good play by Fry to spread it wide. And Sean Dawson at the right place at the right time, low, kept both hands on the stick and deflected it past Chitterborough.
Loves the celebration, Sean Dawson.
He doesn't mind it, and he enjoyed that goal.
So Saints, as you can see, falling away and now turning into a mobile.
Oh, it's kind of a one-person mobile. Oh, they've controlled that well. The Saints, they'll be happy with that. Just keep forcing him back. And that's what they'd be looking for. They'd be looking for the Pirates to penetrate long. And here's an opportunity. Fraser Bowden, very quick, but just lost control, and Chitterborough was able to shield it over the baseline, or maybe just get a stick to it, and it's a long corner. So a good opportunity to Fraser Bowden, but he just lost a bit of control.
So again, as we said throughout the broadcast, that the Saints are really dangerous on that counter-attack, and as the game has gone through with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it's going to open up. So how the Pirates and Mikey and Jordan Glover on the sidelines can control that, we'll have to wait and see.
And would you do anything differently as a coach? 5 minutes to go. If the game stays as is, you miss out on the grand final. What would you do?
I'd be going back to what we did really well in the first half. You look at the Pirates, how they mixed up their pressing, falling away, mobile. They did throw a zone in there as well. And they were really creating some turnovers in some really dangerous areas, which is where their attacking opportunities were coming from.
Yep. Good bit of play by Lawrence. Dangerous. Finds Fitzgerald in space. He'll try and win a corner here, and he has won a corner. Off the foot of Cleghorn. He put his hand up in the air trying to, I think, talk the umpire out of it, but it looked fairly obvious from here, Morts.
Yeah, I think that might have hurt Cleghorn's foot. It was that clear.
So this is the opportunity that they wanted. Haven't had a lot of corners tonight, have they? The Pirates, have they just had the one that they scored from?
Yep, with a retake. Yep.
With a retake. So no Ryan O'Shea. No, they've left Ryan O'Shea deep. Penner clearly the danger man on top of the circle. Might be able to read from the number of times he twirls his stick as to where he's going to go.
So this would be either a direct flick or back to the injector.
He's just decided to flick it low past Damon Lang's right side and got the all-important equaliser. A fantastic finish.
That's a great slow-mo shot of Dan Penner with his drag flick, really driving his body through the flick and staying low, bottom left to Damo Lang's right foot.
It's a difficult part of the goal for a goalie to cover. Probably just inside the post, not right in the corner, and perfectly executed at the right time for the Pirates. So as it stands now, this is enough for the Pirates, and so it's interesting to see whether they'll change things a little bit and keep some numbers behind the ball, knowing that a 2-2 scoreline gets them into next week's final and eliminates the Storm. I think what you're seeing right now is just genuine, natural competitiveness. The Saints want to score. They want to win this game, okay? It doesn't mean anything in terms of that they won't qualify for next week's final, but they want to win this contest.
Some tired legs there with Gus Fry, that ball just in front of him with a basic slide by Charlie Keeves. Here again is that real slow-mo. You can see Dan Penner driving through that flick with just over that right foot of Damon Lang, which is a really hard zone for a goalkeeper to save. Yeah, you wonder sometimes whether, you know, the need for a right post, because is it a zone that that flickers get to quite often, isn't it? Scotty controlling through the middle. So is this just going to be a stalemate for the last 2.5 minutes? Well, I don't think so. I think that would contradict what I just said that would play out. But you know, I think the Saints would be not chasing a win, but you know, if they get an opportunity, they're going to get forward. I don't think they're just going to sit behind the ball. Fraser Bowden using his pace. Dangerous ball in, although the umpires ruled that out as back of the stick. It looked like it might have popped up in that fashion. So Charlie Roberts commenting in, go the rampaging Saints. Well done, Charlie, for interacting. I haven't had a lot of Jack Holland tonight. Thought he might have given a bit more when his father was commentating in the previous game, but knowing Jack, he's probably locked away doing homework. Oh, almost a dangerous turnover there by Cleghorn. Pirates are more than happy for the ball to be played in that part of the field. They are acutely aware of the fact that this is enough. There wouldn't be one person on that pitch in the red shirts who don't realise that a draw is going to see them through to the final. So the call from the Pirates is a half court. They're happy to see this scoreline. Jimmy Humphries making some dangerous ground and a restart on the sideline in the attacking third. So the Pirates are going to have to remain vigilant in this last minute. They've sunk them back deep and they're happy to do so. Saints are being patient. Oh, dangerous touch from Fry. Oh, and the umpires, I think, seen a bit of a screen or a third man. And that may have just been the final opportunity for the Saints to win this contest. Dangerous ball into the midfield, well controlled by Jermaine. Beautiful little aerial, although it's just fallen away from Paxton Silby. Cleghorn
Dawson, Kenny pulls something out as the rain starts right at the end of this game. And that's the final score, or the end of the game. The score ends at 2-2, and these teams are going to do it all again next week in the grand final of the statewide Super League. So, Morts, thank you for your comments tonight. And I hope everyone enjoyed the contest, and we look forward to you joining us again next Wednesday night for grand final night.